All right, guys. Good morning. Let me bring my mic over. Yeah, thanks for hopping on and checking me out. This is a new guide that I'm creating for the community. I kind of putting it out there. It'll be like a living, breathing document where I'll adjust it and try to improve it. I'm Lark Will, and I'll kind of run you guys through what this is. I'll post it in the links. Feel free to comment if you guys think that it needs to be tweaked at all, but I hope this is a helpful kind of rough guide. I was trying to make a very simplistic, quick reference sheet for new players and existing players to get an idea of what teams they should actually be working on in the game at various points. So I'll just walk you through. I'm not going to read through all this stuff, guys, but what I'm going to do is just kind of walk you through how to read it and interpret it, and then I'll let you guys kind of poke around and see what you think. So from the columns on the top left, from like column A, basically just team names. Some of them, the icons, guys, I just pulled off the line, so it might be a little bit more like understanding as to like who these things are. Some of them are a little bit harder to read. They're kind of like, I think Astonishing X-Men up here. It's just, X-Men's really loud, and then Astonishing's kind of, in light yellow, so it's kind of hard to see it. But maybe I should put that in here to help out. And so basically what this is a guide intended to help, again, players at various levels. So early game in column B, this column going all the way down. Mid game are light spenders in column C, and end game are whale spenders, whatever you want to call them, heavy spenders, etc. in column D. And then for each team, like so in row 3, for AIM, I have early game saying, okay, build up to a certain level. I got some good tips from Philosopher and some other folks in the Tahiti cluster, my alliance, that kind of reviewed this briefly for me. And we're mentioning that for AIM, for example, is still useful for villain campaigns to start, and is also used for the Doom campaign nodes 2.1 through 2.3. There's a couple other team options in here, but they're the one that can punch up the most and clear it at the lowest team power, so lowest investment. And then it's actually strange, but I have mid-game and end-game players, since AIM doesn't really transition as well to later stages of the game, as a pass. They can be used in some Greeks, so depending on your lane, a mid-game player may need to use AIM for Greek raids, but since that's not a hard requirement, and for all players, I'm currently listing them as a pass. And that's basically the idea there. Okay, so here's the team. Here's the different modes or different levels of the game that a player may be in, and here's a general recommendation. And again, guys, this is going to be a very kind of like vague. Not vague. It's general recommendations, but it's not going to be specific to your roster. So one player may have 6 and 7 red stars across the board for AIM, and that player may want to invest heavier into their AIM team than the average player, because so much of their lucky pulls for red stars are concentrated on AIM. So it's very roster dependent, guys, but this is just general across the board advice to give new and existing players kind of a rule of thumb to go off of. Again, be smart. If you have again good red star pulls, you have for whatever reason your alliance needs help in a certain segment of the game, and you like your alliance, you can kind of go off script. But this is generally kind of a composite feeling for what most players that I talk to feel towards the game. Mostly it's my opinions, but I'm very open to other feedback I get, and if you guys have any, I'm happy to incorporate that. I'll validate it and make sure that I agree with it. But again, it's a lot of different segments to kind of discuss, so I may have overlooked something here, but I am trying to touch on all the areas. In the comments section in column E, basically what this is just basically some comments as to the known uses for the teams, both what modes they're helpful and useful for, and also are they used for any events, and are they used for any legendary unlocks. There's other guides that specifically show you what characters and teams are used for legendary unlocks that I think, if you're just looking for that, are a little bit more pointed, so I would go there. But this is generally, again, used for just a full overall, okay, here's all the teams that we have currently in the game. Here's the functions, here's who generally should be building them and when. And then in columns F through H, I have recommended team and character stopping points. Mainly it's character stopping points, but it's talking about the teams as well. The reason why it's character stopping points is Marvel Strike Force uses a lot of legendary characters and characters that have a lot of concentrated power that they're trying to sell us. So like Taskmaster or Zemo. The minions of these teams are less impactful, and a lot of the power is concentrated in the new character they're releasing. Ghost with Pimtech. Pimtech is just a very average to below average team. They don't have a lot of uses in the game, but Ghost is phenomenal. And she's not phenomenal at all levels. She's phenomenal in Dark Dimension 4, and then she's above like strong. I would say she's strong in most other game modes, not arena, but in war she's very strong if she's built up quite a bit, and then she has a lot of uses in raid as well, as an example. So it's hard to just say, okay, here's defenders, stop. Well, defenders you can, but say like Astonishing X-Men, it's hard to say stop at this power level and this gear tier for early or end game players, because Bishop and Jubilee, by the sounds of it and all the feedback I'm receiving, is you're going to want those built up a little higher than the rest. If you can build them all up to max, I guess you don't have any questions. You just build them all up to max. But if you're not, and you're trying to manage resources, the general guidance through columns F and through H are intended for resource management. So if you're an early through mid-game player, you're looking at the green column here, and then just go to the team you want. So whether it's Hydra or Hand. So for Hand and row 11, just general notes. Mainly I'm trying to say that the team, sorry I got to sneeze, guys. Can clear event with 200k power. And the event is the relic event that I listed in comments here. So they can clear the relic event with 200k roughly power hand team, maybe a little bit more depending on where your power is allocated on the team. So start with that and adjust upwards as needed to 3-star the relic hunt, so you can just sim it every month when it comes around. And that's mainly for mid-game players, and end game if you're there when you're trying it. But then I have end game as don't build the team. So anytime you see like a dash, that means it's not relevant, because my recommendation is not to build it for that level of player. So if you're in the end game and you've already 3-starred the relic hunt event, you shouldn't be building Hand further. So you should stop. Don't invest your resources there unless you just happen to love Hand. It's just, that's a resource management guidance. So same thing like on early through mid game in the green column, I have this team in column 17 as a pass, and that's mainly because they're not going to be farmable early for a lot of players in the early game, and also they're war pretty much only, and it requires very heavy investment. So the recommendation is pass on the team. So when you see dash, I may, if it's easier just to see a pass, I can put that there too. But I was trying to keep it a little clean. So, and then the TBD is just waiting for Shadowlands, is waiting for the rest of the team to arrive so we can test them. So when I say TBD, to be determined, that's what I'm intending there. And then anytime you guys see plus signs on here, so like say, just of note so you guys can read it. Maybe I'll add a key at the bottom so I kind of tip this off. But if you guys see asterisks usually denote a legendary event or an event use. So Asgardians are used to unlock Black Bolt, and they're also used, Loki and Hela are used for Phoenix Mystic villain controllers. So if you see asterisks in the comments, that's typically denoting Nick Fury unlock for Kree, a legendary unlock. And then other things of note are when you see plus signs in here, like Black Bolt plus versatility, that means it's an added bonus. It's like something that's extra that the team's doing, or something you're going to be one aware of or pay attention to. Sometimes I just do it for individual character. I think for Pimtech I did it as well. So in row 19, so when I say plus strong ghosts, what I'm saying is the value of that team is really when you have a strong ghost. So that's just something to look out for. It's not that she's strong at 40k. It's just that when you build her up to stronger level, she's very good. So just something that, if kind of a recommendation of how to build the team is focus on those characters where I put the plus. I did it for Inhumans as well. Plus strong Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, and that's because those are the two characters that really transition to a lot of different game modes that you can kind of leverage their value. And when you start getting those characters above 100k, they're fantastic. Crystal is amazing as well, but the unfortunate part, and maybe I'll need to add something in here, I think I touched on it here, is Crystal to level 71 as a recommendation. But again, if able to spare biomats. And that's the problem with Crystal, guys, isn't that Crystal doesn't have an amazing kit. It's just that oftentimes you're pulling Black Bolt and Yo-Yo into a raid team and with like symbiotes or something else like that. So they kind of ship together as a duo. And Crystal sometimes left outside just because there's some other characters that just one-up her by a tad. But she's also an amazing character. But if she was using a different trait other than biomats, because Yo-Yo, Black Bolt are also bio, the symbiotes are also bio, Crystal's an amazing character. But we're just really hamstrung based upon some of the Dark Dimension trait requirements and resource management. So that's basically what this guide is for everyone. Just a quick hit reference sheet. So it's meant just so I want to keep this, again, the icons very easy to pick up on. So if you guys see it, you like it, give me a big yondu smile, and hope you guys enjoy this. But that's what it's for, guys. Here's all the teams. I'll keep updating as new teams arrive. I'll try to keep it alphabetical. So the teams on the left are alphabetical. So AIM through Young Avengers, that's how they're ordered. And I'm just trying to give you a quick reference tool so you can see hammer and saw means build the team. Sorry, I should have referenced that before. And pass obviously means pass on the team for now, based upon what category of the game you're in, if you're an early, mid, or late game player, and also a little bit depending on what kind of type of spend you are. So if you're a new game player but a whale, you may want to build some of these teams I'm listing here in column D, because they're the ones that scale into the end game, and you can really ramp up your roster faster if you're purchasing those characters and investing in them. But if you're early game, definitely free to play. Follow column B as a general rule of thumb, and that'll try to keep you from wasting or mismanaging your roster and resources early on. So that way you're transitioning faster into the mid game and end game as quickly as you can, and you're able to leverage your roster power and start getting to stronger alliances earlier in the game, like many of the up and coming characters I know of. So Real T-Dub, Philosopher, plenty of other ones. Those guys are both streamers. Philosopher's trying out his new stream, Real T-Dub. If you guys check him out, he streams like daytimes before he goes into work. These are really good players to kind of tune into and get different perspectives. But I hope you guys like this. If you see anything that I need to add, please let me know. If you guys wouldn't mind, give me a like and a comment, or definitely a like and a notification. If you guys want to see further content like this, if you guys want to see any kind of extensions of this, let me know, and I'll keep adding on to it. I want to keep it pretty simple and self-explanatory, and just a really, I don't want this to be as comprehensive. I'm looking to really make it a very useful reference tool for people just to like have in the background, and then when they're kind of like working on the roster and taking a look around, they can just reference this as a general rule of thumb, and then help guide their roster management and resource management decisions. All right, guys, again, I'm Lork Will. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this helps you out. I will link it below in my YouTube video, and you guys are welcome to put it as like an editable version, so you guys can make a copy and add your own comments in here. So if you guys want to switch this up for yourself, use the general template and add your own comments, feel free to do so. And again, I'll post it below after I do the video. Let me see if I can do my Spider-Man one. I forgot which guy is. Oh, there he is. Give me a like. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great Monday and rest of your 3-day weekend. Take care.